Tonight, we will begin where we normally end. We start with our last words because the issue at hand can possibly not wait longer than this. It cannot wait because our constitutional order, our ever-nascent democracy and problematic quest for civilized statehood is under threat.
Indeed, the source of that threat we can only describe with much restraint as marauding bands of closet anarchists. In an aspirational democracy such as ours, respect for the rule of law ensures that we are all equal before the law and that power is not exercised arbitrarily by any individual or groups of individuals. And there is no greater assurance of the rule of law than through an independent judiciary.
That is why tonight we are alarmed by the barrage of attacks and insults that have been directed at the 5 High Court judges who, on Thursday last week, declared null and void the entire BBI-engineered constitutional amendment bid. From senior politicians to cabinet secretaries and other political operatives, critics of the judges and the judiciary have been sharp and furious.
Sharp and furious criticism is not at issue here. Indeed, it is within the rights of critics of decisions of the court to criticize, file an appeal, or even just grieve over a judgment such as the one delivered against the BBI process last Thursday. But those rights cannot be extended to the insults, the innuendo, propaganda and threats, direct or implied, that we have heard or witnessed within the last 1 week.
Now, it would have passed for witless backstreet humor had it come from someone of less stature than Cabinet Secretary and Secretary General of the party of government. But the threat openly against the judges by Jubilee Secretary General Raphael Tuju was not only clumsy, but a highly alarming indication of the official attitude, especially towards the judiciary.
Now, invoking interdependence, Raphael Tuju went as far as suggesting that judges should not even think about being independent because they still need the executive to provide them with police escorts on their way home. Even non-legal minds would rest this argument. Or is it definition of interdependence between the ridiculous and the tragic?
Tragic and ridiculous, too, was a suggestion by CAS Zachary Kinuthia that judges of the High Court should be elected by citizens, ostensibly to promote accountability. All in a wave of largely partisan political anger directed at the 5 judges that declared the BBI process unconstitutional. Here is our collective take on these attacks. They are an affront not just on the judges, but on Kenya's constitutional order itself.
A famous American, Andrew Jackson, the 7th President of the United States, who also founded the Democratic Party, once said, and I quote, "All rights secured to citizens under the Constitution are worth nothing, a mere bubble, except guaranteed to them by an independent and virtuous judiciary." End of quote. That is the same reason why Chapter 160 of the Constitution of Kenya 2010 is properly titled, "The Independence of the Judiciary." It recognizes and expressly states that judges will perform their functions without control or direction from any person or authority.
Those are the words and instructions of Article 160, Sub-Article 1 of our Constitution. And it may just be necessary at this point to remind politicians that the handshake and BBI did not suspend, supersede, supplant, substitute, or in any way or part replace the Constitution of Kenya 2010 that was promulgated a short 10.5 years ago. Preparing a solid memorandum of appeal would serve them better than the insults and threats directed at the judges of the High Court.
To the 5 judges, and indeed all other judges that live true to Article 160, Sub-Article 1 of the Constitution, you now know that insults, threats, innuendo, and propaganda is part of your employment package. Supreme Court judges found themselves in this same furnace in 2017 for nullifying a bungled presidential election. This is only your turn, and there'll be another turn for others like you. Defending the Constitution, especially a transformative one such as the one Kenya promulgated in 2010, is not the business of the faint-hearted. This is the space of wide-eyed, no-nonsense patriots.
Which is why tonight, here at the News Gang, we join all voices of reason that are defending the rule of law and the independence of the judiciary, as well as the constitutional duty of judges to exercise judicial authority to the absolute exclusion of the control or direction of any person or authority. We applaud all those that stand for the judicial independence of judges, and we agree with the Kenya Magistrates and Judges Association when they correctly term the attacks on judges as ancient, irresponsible, and retrogressive.
We also concur with the Senior Counsel Bar, whose chairman, Senior Counsel Fred Odhiambo, states that the attacks on the judiciary are essentially an attack on the rule of law. Odhiambo decries, as we do here, the absence of any sense of law or decorum in the attacks against the judges. Odhiambo poses, as we do here, just what are the long-term effects of the current invective against the judiciary?
Food for thought. It should worry every law and order-oriented Kenyan if this retrogressive culture is allowed to grow roots. In the good old days, we worried about non-compliance with the principles of Chapter 6 of the Constitution, summarized as leadership and integrity. But tonight, it should frighten us that Chapter 10, and specifically judicial authority and the independence of the judiciary, are hanging dangerously on a cliff.
Here's one more thing that should worry us: the silence of the Judicial Service Commission, JSC. Essentially, the JSC, as per Article 172 of the Constitution, is mandated with the function of promoting and facilitating the independence and accountability of the judiciary. But one whole week into the attacks on judges, JSC is silent.
The silence of the JSC should, however, not come as a surprise. In many ways, the silence confirms the worst suspicions of observers and critics of the JSC. If JSC cannot speak out for the very judges it recruits and employs, then the judiciary should not worry just about external attacks, but more consequentially, about the enemy within.
Indeed, the kicker, the angle, the take, the memo, and punchline rolled into one voice tonight in defense of the independence of the judiciary.